The charter was a great compromise between people who wanted a mayor, people who didn't want a mayor. The town passed that, the citizens passed that, the people that we represent passed that. And they built a process into it to have the charter review committee do this job. I would be voting no on all charter proposals until we hear back from the charter review committee. And I would not support sending anything directly to the charter review committee from us. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, and I don't want to cross lanes.
Well, I find some of the proposals interesting and well thought out. I would echo Councilor Simmons.
In my professional career, I've reviewed dozens of community charters. We have a very good one. That said, there's room for some improvement. I made a few, and another councilor made a few proposals. There were proposed changes to elections in November, staggered council 3-year terms.
I was a member of the first Charter Review Committee. It's a valuable process. We talked to everyone that we could grab. We did hear from department heads, counselors, school committee members. We heard from a lot of people. Over the past 5 years, I've come around on the charter. I was not a fan of the charter originally. I did not support it. But I think it's working fine. I don't see anything at all that needs to be fixed. I do see some areas that could be improved. Anything can be improved.
My view on the 2-year election cycle is it's too frequent. Because it's
It's
hard
a
on
lot.
us to, it's hard on
It's a lot.
counselors to run every 2 years.
Yep.
You're effectively, if you're going to run a campaign, you're starting to run a campaign, 18 months into your term, right? Like that's tough to have that turnover all the time. And also, in my opinion, again, I'll say how I feel on the overall topic, but in terms of the 2-year cycle and everybody being up all at once, I understand the reasons for it in terms of wanting to give the voters the ability, if they're dissatisfied with the council, to get rid of them. But I think a 2-year term where could all potentially be removed at once makes it hard for a council to have a long-term vision, right? And it makes us a little bit weaker, I think, in that regard. So at some point, I would like to see that changed.
Number one, I agree with letting the Charter Review Committee, do their job, come back with their recommendations. I don't think there's a problem with having the discussion now. If I had to choose between the 3-year terms and the November elections, I would choose the 3-year terms. Number one, I'm not sure, even if we had it in November in odd numbered years, I think it's more of an apathy problem when it comes to local elections.
My view would be, they're going to commence this process in the next year. We're all going to get invited to those meetings to participate, and I would encourage all of us to, if we want to, participate in those meetings and give your feedback. And I think, at that point in time, you'd have a document. You'd have 5 years of this government. You'd have a document that's kind of summarizing the learnings of those 5 years. And I think that council could, would probably be in a position maybe to propose some changes, make some changes